welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you all doing? I hope everyone's doing good. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this soft bronzy makeup look. And this is something that I often do, and I love browns and a warm tone kind of a makeup on me because it suits the best for me. And if this makeup look interests you, then keep on watching. Okay, first I'm going to prep my skin, and I'm going to use a hydrating moisturizer first. So I'm using the Clinique ID moisturizer. This is super hydrating, and I take about 3 to 4 pumps. Okay, my skin is nicely moisturized. Now for primer, I'm going to use the Natio Ageless Illuminating Primer. This is very nice. It's like this runny consistency. That's the consistency it has. So I'm going to take a very little, not too much. It doesn't have any glitter particles or even shimmer particles. It's just a nice hydrating primer. Now I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal color corrector in the shade orange. This is very pigmented, you guys, so you gotta be careful with this. If you go overboard, then it's going to mix in the foundation. It's not gonna look nice. It's gonna look orange. So I'm just going to buff this out. You can use a brush, you can use a blender, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with both. Okay, now it cancelled all my darkness. Now I'm just going to take loose powder. This is Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I'm gonna take a little bit onto the cap, and I'm just going to slightly set that in place so that it doesn't mix with my foundation. For concealer, I'm going to use the Sugar Concealer. This is the Magic Wand Waterproof Concealer in the shade 40. So I'm gonna also highlight here. So I'm going with concealer before foundation is because it's going to look more natural, and when the foundation sits on the concealer, you will tend to use a lot less concealer than like you usually do. So which is why I like to do this technique, so that you get the control over how much foundation you can use. Alright, I have brightened the areas wherever I want it to pop. Now for foundation, I'm going to use the Nykaa SkinShield foundation, and this is in the shade 13 Foxy Chestnut. I would want to go a shade lighter because this is a dark, but since we're going for that bronzy kind of a look, a shade darker works. We're gonna work it out anyways. I actually went to the Nykaa store and still picked up the wrong shade. I think the lighting or maybe even quarantine has made me a little lighter. I don't know, but now I feel like this foundation is dark for me. I actually love this foundation. Such a pretty foundation. It really blends well, sits on the skin really well, and it does wear for a longer period of time. So I'm just going to do half the skin actually, and I'm going to show you what the difference looks like. There you go. Look at how flawless this foundation sits. I really like it. Also, it's been so long that I've used this foundation. I've actually forgotten how this feels. It's really nice. Before my under eyes starts creasing, I'm just going to set only my under eyes. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This is in the shade 25. I'm gonna do it just under my eyes and just this area because I don't like this shiny finish, and also a little bit on this side. Now for contour, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Espresso. I'm going to take some on this brush. So I'm just placing the product where I need. I haven't blended it out. Now I'm just going to go with the sponge and just tap on it so that it gets blended really well into the skin. It's going to look seamless. So now for blush, I'm going to use this one from Colorbar. This is the Colorbar Mattillusion blush in the shade Flushed Satin. If you're a dusky tone person, you must own this color. It is such a great color, and I'm also not going to use too much. I'm going to use a very slight bit. Just where I placed my contour, slightly above it. I'm just going to pat it. And the same thing here. Okay, I went ahead and filled in my brows. I anyways don't do too much, which is why I didn't film that part. Anyways, for eyeshadow, I'm going to use the Makeup Obsession palette. This is called as the Love Is My Drug palette. It's a very nice mauvey pink. You can do a lot of eyeshadow looks in this palette. I'm going to use the shade called Cherish. So I'm just going to put this on the whole eyelid. Okay, now I'm going to take this shade called Fixated. This is a little darker than the previous shade. I'm going to pop this shimmer. This is called Admire, and it is actually blinding. Look at that. So I'm going to use this in the inner corner. Oh my god, this is super pigmented. Okay, I'm going to use a bronzer because I want a little more bronzing effect. This is also a really warm toned bronzer. I like it whenever I feel like I want this bronzy makeup look. I know I had used a blush, so I'm just going to blend everything, the contour, the blush. So everything is going to be one. Now for highlighter, I'm going to use the Nykaa Strobe Globe highlighter. This is in the shade Gold Mine. I like this when I choose for a bronzy look. And I'm going to take some on the back of my hand. This is a very nice highlighter, and this is like really gold, really gold. So this highlighter is great when you do bronzy looks. I'm gonna use it right here. Now coming to lips, I'm going to do an ombre lip, and I'm going to use two different shades from Faces Canada. This is their Intense Matte Lips Plus Primer. This one is in the shade Espresso, and the other one is in the shade Hazel. So first I'm using the darker shade, which is called as Espresso, and I'm going to outline my lips. Okay, now I'm using the shade called Hazel and I'm going to fill the rest of the lips. This is more of that coral nude shade. You guys, this is one of my favorite combinations. It works great for all skin tones. This is such a beautiful ombre lip. I love this. I always obsess over this combination. To set all of this in place, I'm going to use the PAC Micro Finish Makeup Fixer. Alright you guys, that's it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you loved watching this tutorial as much as I loved filming this for you guys. It is something that I often wear, and every time I put this on makeup with just the same products, I know that it's going to turn out the best for me. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until then, you guys take care. I will see you guys soon.